Hello people, it's me Libloidi, and welcome back to Gem and Holograms Season 2. Again we are plunged into the deep dark world of Dominion 6, fantasy strategy game. And we have now fall in the year 3 of the Ascension Wars. This time I was a bit strapped for time, that's it. So I did some things off screen, since I didn't know if I could come back home from work today in time, and I didn't want to lose this turn since we're in an important position right now. We're of course doing our weird ass summons, weird ass magic, but End of the Rainbow hasn't found anything. And of course we tried to find the fire site there, but level 1 and fire wasn't enough. Robo-Octees, the lizards controlled by AI, have made a new prophet. And a wooden construction, we can take a look. As you've seen already, I have mobilized the next army on the run, and this time it's for the birds. The crushers are still here because the stats are, well, not that good actually. Mostly they are beefy and have high protection, and the magic resistance is high enough that they can't just get off-screened by any dumb spell that there might be. They also have cold and poison resistance. Since our current enemy has a lot of fire spells, not so good. They're also poor amphibians, but honestly, if you let them walk underwater, the only reason you would do this is if you want to have some kind of tools with which to press on a siege. But as mindless, yeah, I'm not so sure. Interesting experiment, but I will keep them around until I have unlocked the spell to transform them into actual leaders, because then I can give them weapons and shit. Some funny thing I've forgotten, I could use House Packs to go in a search, but since Lady Ayub here has 19 research, probably want to use someone else. But right now we have still more than enough nature gems. We want to have glamour gems, and glamour gems have gone down because of recent events. As another battle in Ras. Yeah, Hinnom just moved his stack of mages and his slowly weakening shield of troops over there and retook the prince. Which of course means we'll now send our turtles over and take Andaria, because apparently we have a good chance. Not everywhere. The local defense in the swamps is now quite well organized, so we at least forced him to spend some money. Here we can't really tell anything because we need these guys here. Scouts at the very least to tell us how good the defenses are. The strike against Andaria is a roll of the dice since I don't have any scouts here. And obviously I can't just throw them back at Volga, because then they'll probably get obliterated from the stack of mages walking back. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, we already have the underwater province, and it's not exactly the best income there is. It's more like a threatened being, since this means any province where he doesn't put down some province defense will get immediately retaken. If Andaria doesn't work out, well, I can just start recruiting scouts again, I suppose. Do we have anything close to the battlefield? Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, these guys, of course. Well, why not? Oh yeah. At least there are better troops than the marrow of... And what is this province called again? Alluvia. So the battle marches on, And the longer this takes, the more crap he is summoning to his capital. So what I'm doing now in the next turn is I'm moving these 3 girls over to Volga, where there already are 3 girls. Then, if he moves back to his capital next turn, there will be a trap of 6 assassins laying in wait. And there are still 5 here in Feral Woods, just in case he goes for the kill instead. Also, I probably need to summon shit here in the Feral Woods. I want to not get worn down pretty damn much. We have a siege strength of 204. And because we are dirty elves, we are actually gaining supplies until we get more units that actually have to eat. And we have 107 units, that is, we actually have almost parity with those guys. Or to get a bit closer, actually have 1 unit more. That's kind of funny. If it weren't for the insane amount of fireballs and other shit raining down, we would have this in the bag. But since we are sneaky elves, we'll have to do shit. Have to do the shit the slow way. Research, it's kind of okay, I suppose. You're slowly gaining through things. And since I'm using a lot of glamour gems, those assassinations are essentially a one-time thing. Of course, there is something important, and that is the Visions of Death. They need level 3, so we can our assassins still can't cast them without gem use. But if he gives them a booster, they could, and fatigue is only 20, so if you're assassinating someone, they have 5 tries until they're asleep and probably dead. Magic resistance negates, however, so while the damage ignores armor, it does mean the enemy has a chance of getting through. Let's see, anything cheap and useful I could summon here? Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course, more wooden constructions. Faynades, a bit too expensive, no? Footfolk, probably for the best. Probably too dangerous right now. We could of course get Faithfolk, but they're probably too small. Vine Ogres, a bit too vulnerable. Let's keep it like this. We have more units than they have, even though our animals are probably not giving us a lot of defense, since they're essentially still dogs. But it looks like they would take at least 4, or since they're giants, let's say 3 turns to chew through the Feral Woods. And since this army is only 2 turns from Feral Woods, next turn, that's going on. If there's siege, well, of course, we'll be tempted to just move all of those back to make a full assassination mega attack before he can rejigger his scripting to be something somewhat more defensive. So to be fair, if he goes for the kill, he probably hasn't enough gems to actually summon lots of elementals, which means even if he is prepared, I could still pull this off a second time, which would be something like 3, 7, 8, 19, 11 dead mages times 2, that would take out 22 mages, or to be fair, 22 leaders. Just a lot of them would be mages. Troops! So this is the small defensive army that's now staying behind. And we have to do things differently this time, because we want to rush our armies as fast forward as possible. This should work out a little bit better. Well, since the enemy is kind of in the way, it will in practice still mean they'll rush in and kill. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. You can go here. Mages. Ah, yes. Okay, there is. Sorry. No reason to believe that I have to script the mages again. Oh, but why the fuck not? They're going to standard attack mode. Terrifyingly, I would need at least one blesser, but the blessers are somewhere else. Here, this guy is Take, who is going here, because he has these guys, and since they can fly, they can go to the back, because it's ridiculous. They also get a box formation, so they're not immediately alone if they drop on the enemy. Since they can fly, they can actually reach the enemy before getting absolutely murder-fucked. Tiny problem, of course, is... let's see... Yep. Tiny problems, of course, since they can fly, and since we want to get them to the mages as fast as possible, we can't sadly not let them wait around for them to get sacred. So they will suffer a bit. On the other hand, they can fly, and the enemy needs at least one turn to power up the mages. And then, since the fire spells in question are projectiles that have to travel to the ground again, there are most enemies. Of course, the mages are mixed in with the archers mostly, so this is probably for the best. So, this little squadron, the mages please stay behind. Let's see how this works out. The crushers stay here. The undersupplied Leogryphs no idea how this works. At least they are fast. Not the fastest. It would be these guys here. They have to stay in the back row, otherwise they get absolutely obliterated. I put them carefully in the middle. And then I make sure all the fuckers are further back. Yeah, that's someone who is supposed to bless. That means they go up where... Yep. Super mages go in the back row. Blessers go... Oh yeah, of course. That's some weird to read. So... let's make sure... Yep, the army is taking... Oh. Completely forgot the blessing units. Those have to come with us. And please bless. Yeah, I probably should make this more about blessing. The AI can choose useless spells on their own, I suppose. Let's see, 3 was... Yep, that was... Well, wait. 3... 4. Okay, 4. Let's just make new 4. Yep, updated. You go back to normal, thank you. So... let's take a look. Again, yes. One blesser will bless as many of these guys as he can, and the other will try to sacredify the flying units, and then any overflowing blessings will hopefully hit the normal sacreds. So this should work out. And we have... Yes, we have Macha here as the typical super mage for twilighting it up on the battlefield. So now this should work out. The crushers stay behind until I can make some kind of crusher squad out of them. So now things are getting ridiculous because I can start forging boosters. Yep, we reach this class. First, let's start with a Fistal Mace that gives +1 to nature magic. Now it gets interesting because another one of my guys, the Biolak here, can now forge a booster and a research item. One of the oh, surely shit, must be allergies again. One of the more interesting new items in Dominion 6 is the Dreamstone. It gives +9 research, not bad. Lowers the magic resistance, which is, well, let's just say it's probably for the best not to put this on mages on your battle line. Cannot be used by a non-sleeper, so if you have something weird like a magic statue or something, sorry, can't equip. And you need to be a glamour mage on top of it. But it's fairly easy. You need only path 1 and 5 gems. And then you have +9 research. So it's cheap and easy to make. And it will, over time, boost everyone's research capabilities insanely. Beauty +2. That's interesting. No interest. More interestingly, we also unlocked stuff like the Pixie Shoes. More defense, automatic luck, so no spell needed. Map move is up, and it is still fairly cheap. It needs glamour and nature, 5 gems each. If combined with something like the Gossamer Gown, then a potential assassin lady even gets some minor hit points more and gains all. So another option, of course, where something like Chainmail of Displacement, but it comes with, sadly, encumbrance and lowers defense. On the helmet price, we have the Gossamer Rail, fairly expensive for 15 gems. And it adds blur, stealth, and glamour magic. And this is, of course, something we want to give our pretender. And it's actually good for assassins, but first I want to see how good they can be on their own, unboosted through equipment. Because, of course, we can't make a super assassin capable of killing entire hordes of giants on her own. But before we invest that many gems, I would like to see how it works out without any gems, as to carefully gauge effectiveness. Then we have shit like the Enchanted Mirror, which pretends armies are bigger than normal. Enemy scouts are fooled. It of course only mimics units the mage actually has. Certain people might be getting suspicious if that one mage suddenly turns into 75. Even 75 slingers would probably be better. So you should have at least some units around a fake defender. Yeah, I forgot. And it needs level 2 and 10 gems, so don't make too many. In earlier Dominions games, the Enchanted Mirror was an air item since glamour magic didn't exist. Then we have the Cauldron of the Elven Halls, heavy, which means most magic rituals can't transport it, and it wields armies. This means oh my god, I hope I'm not getting ill again. That sucks. To put it simply, any army equipped with this thing appears 75 units smaller. I like it. Well, of course, Hinnom has probably no reason to expect our armies to be smaller, bigger or whatever, since he seems to think he can just destroy anything he sent against him. So, with how many units he lost last time, if he doesn't get 50 more ogres, the next big army fight would probably end up with his mages all dead anyway. I'm just trying to minimize our losses. Next up on the front, Lions of Hell. We need to grab some magic. Need to rejigger some things here. Ah yes, we need a lot of support for our armies. So I'm running low on money right now. The thing is, of course, the optimal way to do something with our new research items. Are you marching off? Oh, I selected them, but I didn't actually move them. So, this means those champions are suddenly perfect researchers, because as soon as you have them, you can just give them those fucking new items, and suddenly they turn from mediocre 9 researchers into really great 18 researchers. Of course, since we needed to form up a new army, we are suddenly low on mages, but we can cheat, of course. First off, yeah, so I actually know what I'm doing here. First, we need one of our mega mages to do something. So anyway, you will now forge the most important thing, Gossamer Rail, which I forgot takes Glamour Magic level 3. Not as easy to make as you'd think. So let's give our pretender something to wear. Of course, I could also forge this, the Fistal Mace. Yeah, I could give them, of course, to Aoib. Aoib? Aoib? Aoib. Oh god, I have no idea if this is even close to correct. Because if she's suddenly turning into Nature 4 Glamour 5, we'll of course get probably a 7th or even 8th unit if you start summoning Faefolk. Footfolk, I should say. Faefolk are the tiny ones. So let's see how this works out from the next turn forward. Then main worm. This can go back into storage, so you can start forging our first Dreamstone. And then, yeah, we need more gems again. Our stupid elves eat those glamour gems like candy. We should go out and win the war so we can finally get enough gems. Without our trades and the gems we got gifted, we would be minus 15 in negatives. Yeah. So, probably should arrange some more trades in the future. Important to note, non-glamour mages can use at least the Skull Mentor and gain even more research. It's more expensive since it costs 10 gems instead of 5. But plus 14 is really, really good. Okay, I keep forgetting I got some shit from killing enemy leaders. Like this Baneblade, this Enchanted Shield, this Whip of Command, Leadership, and Taskmaster. We don't have any slaves, so Inspiration -2. Yeah, since we don't have slave armies, it's not a thing for us. The Baneblade does magic damage and decay, which means it basically ages enemies to death if they get hit. Really nasty thing. And the Fire Magic Helmet. It makes casting spells harder, but you gain more magic, which of course means, now that you remember something, can go back here to the hidden and completely unknown thing, the fireside that an event told us about. And now we have level 2 and can try again and see if we are now lucky enough to get it. Something else? Do we have... Oh! Flame is the attack 1, defense 2, so that's basically giving a bonus. The enchanted shield is just a shield. Gives a parry value of 7, protection shield 17. It's just slightly better than the shield we already have. But I guess better than nothing. Which one of those is the army leader? Peon. Peon? Peon. Okay, you can have this shit. You can have the shield and the sword. Already know he has a better shield and a Bane blade which does terrifying damage, even if it's not a lance, but since he is not supposed to attack anyone, it's probably a nasty surprise if anyone actually gets in range, since attack skill 16 means he will probably hit a lot of people getting too close to him. As soon as I'm testing out my Gem Assassins, I'll probably try to rejigger things, since the new spell is perfect for assassinations against the living, that is. 25 damage are really good. Too bad we don't have something like Phoenix Power for Glamour Mages. That would be really useful now. And that's already, it's it already. I did all the hard stuff like making sure everything is scripted and ammunition up and shit last turn already. So now I'm interested to see if he goes simply back to his fortress or if he will go for the kill. If he goes for the kill, yeah, we still have 5 assassins to attack at once, and then we'll be shamelessly abusing that he will take at least 2 turns to get enough gems to the army to protect his mages from a second attempt, and simply move everyone back from Valgard to Feral Woods for the second attempt. He, of course, will send... Ah, shit. He probably can do this, yes, if he has some dumb stooge here. Of course, I could also send some assassins from here. That's an alternative thing. What I can do is I'm sending 3 of them back and have 3 of them assassinate whatever leader he has here. Because obviously, if he drops tons of gems on the Alvite commander here and sends him back, then he will die because the assassinations trigger before movement. And then the gems won't be in Feral Woods to help him. That's interesting. Well, let's see what he does next turn. If we do things right, then this the army I'm putting together can simply roll up everything and squat on his capital, ending this war for good. Our allies, meanwhile, have still a lot of stuff to do in the south. Tease, of course, has used the distractions for a little bit expansion on their own. But hopefully Kailaza can take them out, because then at least we don't have a wild card. We are still waiting for what Ur is trying to do. Another reason to finally end this shit. And if the assassinations work out, we can of course use the same thing against Ur, since Ur has also strong, bulky, highly buff commanders. And if we can take those giants out with our mage ladies, then of course we can do so to Ur. Still, probably had worked best against Kailaza's more dainty commanders. But alas, the world doesn't work like you want it to, so I have to grab it by the neck and shake it. Research is still high enough to get Taumaturgy 4, and visions of death. So let's finish this up and see what we can forge next turn after we have the important boosters down. Libluini out. Hello people, it's me Libluini and welcome back to Gem the Holograms Season 2. Yeah, by now you should have watched this series long enough to know what this is about. But just in case you have dropped in from the stars at this video number XXX and whatever, this is Dominion 6, a fantasy strategy game. And this is multiplayer because the AI of the game for single player is a bit... let's not talk about it. And in this session we are now up to late fall in the year 3 of the Ascension Wars. We are TNN, a nation of elves fighting Hinnom, a nation of blood-drinking giants or some shit. Our neighbors are really old big humans, Kailasa, magic apes, and there is Arcocephale, a nation that's a fantasy version of Greeks. So let's see what happened. Now we completing research. Taumaturgy. Now our assassins have a new and deadly spell unlocked. Someone has claimed another throne? Yeah, we should claim some thrones ourselves. But we are stuck in a war. Reminds me of my fight against Mikona. And we have this here, Feral Woods. Yeah, sadly, while we did get an event telling us things, Fire 2 is still not enough. But I haven't given up yet. Because I have those useless fire gems and I can give you fire too through empowerment, which exchanges a big lump sum of gems for a power of a permanent one. So now she is up to level 2 and with the fire helmet level 3. And then we'll search again and hope that's enough, because after that it gets a bit expensive. And oops, not spying here. Same trouble as last couple times. I came back from work super late. Didn't want to risk losing the turn, so I did some things off screen. Troop movements and shit. Yamas Kailasa against Ktis and Annika. Yeah, that's just some Sauromancers dying. Very basic shit. Nothing too impressive. It's just a bunch of sacred units and then a bunch of headless defenders. Of course there's also magic. But seriously, those guys were so outclassed it wasn't even funny. Yeah, we don't have to watch this, they're already dead. Yeah, 0 losses, everyone is dead. Yeah, Ktis is probably really now getting some attention from Kailasa. Hinnom is still there, but probably contained for now. They're having 2 enemies, and yeah, for some reason instead of trying to attack us for good, they're now marching a different direction, possibly to fight Kailasa. Yeah, well, it's good that we're not the only ones having to demolish Hinnomian armies, but it's of course a bit funny. Could have done so much trouble, but of course he also accidentally neutralized my assassin plan since his army is now running away from us at high speed. Then there was a battle in Andoria where our turtles killed some guys we were completely surprised. That's always fun. So now I'm sending them back into the water and add some minimum defense just to keep a single scout off. And not to waste enough money in case shit things are happening. So the next thing was I have started moving this army here again. They're not much, but there are enough. So let's change tactics a bit. Since we are now using these guys as some sort of fucked up main force. let's take all our weirdos back. Oh, yeah, there are some miscellaneous troops that haven't been scripted yet. Let's see. Yeah, that's all okay. Yeah, okay, I don't really need you alone, so here you can go over there. And Con is the designated Lord of the Backfort. He has to stay here now. And yeah, you can go here. Our scapegoat is impressively useful. And you, Cronin, you're just some guy. You can stay here in case we need to move our ship. I still have a lot of casters here, so Aben is just a blesser. We don't really need him right now since we have our prophet with us. And he has some troops here. Let's upgrade our mega mages here. Yeah. Don't really think that's necessary. Do we have some stronger nature shit now? Still nothing really unlocked here. Howl. Oh yes, it summons wolves. Okay, that could be funny. And we have tons of nature gems, so that could be useful. Oh wait. You know what? We could drive this around. Glamour. Twilight. Then illusionary army, ephemeral boss, and so on. Let's make this 2 times. 2 times the fun. And then Tailty can now howl. Something more to do here. Well, why not some self-protection? Yeah, why not? They're the only ones who can shoot out those stupid super spells. Let's upgrade ammunition before they're marching out. So now we have 60 plus units. Not really good units, mind you, but enough to back up our bunch of weirdos with a mailed fist. And we're taking over again. The thing is, of course, there is no this army here, but he can't attack us. It's the most obvious invasion build-up I've ever seen. Of course, Arco also has a lot of units ready to do something, but they have the same problem Ur has, just reversed. They would like to attack Ur, but have an in-game non-aggression pact. Ur would like to attack us, but has an in-game non-aggression pact. Now, bumping that is accidentally running into the same province and then fighting it out is possible again, the devs promised. But what if you're just openly breaking your pact? The normal rules as explained by the developers was if your armies meet each other on a battlefield and you have still a non-aggression pact running, then what's supposed to be happening is that both sides run away. Well, that's kind of annoying, but at least there's no mass death since none of your mages will do anything. Your troops won't do anything, no one will shoot anything, everyone will just immediately panic and run away. And yeah, considering all possible movements I can see here would end up with most of our units safely departing into friendly territories on both sides, we are fairly sure that we can't just invade. I mean, if they were the player of Arco, they could put something like this simply because they would consider it funny if two huge armies run away, messing up the plans of both sides. Well, in his case, it would be my side mostly, because it would take a couple turns to keep all those cats herded back together. So, strategically, my reserve army will now take on Valgard, since there's no one here anymore. So the army is small but strong enough to do this, even if they have to send illusions in to finish the job. And my big army can then continue eastward towards Hinnom itself. This will of course take 1, 2, 3 turns, and I have no idea what he is doing. He could walk back now for another attempt, or he could roll around the south and come this way, or he could try to fight it off with Kailasa's many smallerish armies instead of Hinnom and me and our big dump death balls. Of course, this means I now have these shiny ladies here, and they can't do anything because there are many leaders here. That's why I keep these now in reserve, in case we need assassins on Ur's army. And of course we now have the option to change things around. Illusory army, for example, is nice, since it throws out a lot of enemies to churn through. And honestly, I want to keep things versatile. Right now it's against mages, but we could encounter enemies that can move fast, or fly even. And while we can survive the first hit possibly by casting Luck in time, the illusory army probably will take a bit longer. If the lady mage gets interrupted, that might be it. On the other hand, if we start with a big spell, it might not be finished before shit gets real. And stuff like those dancing swords won't really deal with most possible enemies very well. 3 attacks, well, could be useful. It's again kind of like this. If we are trying to assassinate fast or even flying targets, then Dance of Swords would probably be best first spell, because she would have a chance of actually finishing it, and then the swords would deal out damage and she could do something else with her time. Like for example life drain if she gets interrupted and has to resort to melee attacks to defend herself. With attack 14 she has a good chance at hitting someone, and if she isn't getting immediately killed, she may kill the enemy like this. If the enemy however gets lucky, then luck is more important, since it's like a 75% chance of survival. But luck takes a little bit longer and is a bit riskier. The illusory army, of course, will shoot out a lot of targets for potential bodyguards to shoot through. So you might say a lot of this shit is kind of an intricate puzzle. We have no idea which of these shitty spells will be the thing that's the absolute impressive death dealer, and which shit won't. Visions of Death. Good range. 30 cost is okay, even if we have to overcast it, and damage 25 plus. Yeah, I think we might make some kind of super assassin. I have some ideas about this. I mean, look, then throwing out Chaff, then trying to go for the kill with Visions of Death, then Dance of Ephemeral Thoughts to protect yourself, and then going for the kill again. That's also something. It's even higher chance of working, because if 20 illusions can't kill the enemy, 40 will probably not do the trick anymore. But this might work out better, I should say, because Visions of Death is a really ugly spell. And the range is fairly big, but whatever is sitting there, I have an idea. Since we want to attack mages, it's probably better to... This is probably even better, because while 35 plus range is nice, it may not be enough if the enemy is a mage who won't the fuck move. It would be funny if this breaks our scripting, by which I mean I would consider it stupid. So let's see, 7 was assassin path, so let's upgrade our scripting a bit with the new one. And now we can do the same thing for everyone. We'll still need 4 gems, since Illusory Army casted will take 1 or 2 gems to be cast properly. Visions of Death will need gems, and yeah. Basically, after all those spells are through, that will be some tuckered out lady. We have to see if we can streamline this for a future super assassin mage bullshit surprise. But for now, let's go with this. The new fake damage spell should be able to do things. Of course, we have to remember, since it's fake false damage, it only kills the target if it kills them. Let me explain. Well, if our mage dies, then all the damage we did is immediately neutralized, so we have to take this into account. It would be ridiculous if, for example, our mage dies immediately and then the illusions can't really do shit anymore. Or even worse, let's say someone has 26 hit points, hit for 25 damage, then kills our mage, and then immediately goes back to full strength before the remaining illusions can do anything. If they even can do anything after the mage that controls them is gone, I guess we'll learn together. So Cronin is now the guy who is going... Yeah. Con. Oh yeah, yes, of course. Con is still being here. Does he? Yes. Cronin was the old standard leader in Feral Woods, and Con is now the leader of a possible new army if I ever get enough money to put new units here. In Broken Land, there's also nothing going on right now. All the recruiting concentrates on the capital. And these guys, of course. But let's rejigger things. We need assassins. Yeah. This means we can get more units here. Maximum recruitment here for our second line. The capital won't be completely helpless. So, what I did last turn... yes, we can now gift our fine Lady of Song the Gossamer Reel, which means she is now immediately stronger in Glamour Magic. Useful if she has to go on the battlefield. If she, for example, uses Illusory Army, which needs par 3 to shoot out 20 units. This means par 4, 5, 6, 7 means instead it's 24, so per cast. So if I keep shooting this shit out, well, let's do it like this. Twilight first and then 4 times 25 now, since she's done level 8. That would be 100 illusions. So even though each individual unit will be weak as fuck, that's a lot of really weird ghost shit. And since they're doing magic damage, that's not exactly damage you can protect against. And of course Io, which now gets the Fistal Mace, which now means she can summon more fairy footfolk. And of course these guys, these unfucking believable guys. Too bad we now have only non-commanders here. This guy doesn't really count. Now, let's see. We can recruit... Oh, fuck, we don't have enough for those guys. Yeah... let me think. You there, girl. You can send this thing back and gift it over to another stooge here. Because we got a Dreamstone, but a Dreamstone is only for Glamour Mages, remember? Luckily, some of the mages in our capital were designated researchers, so we gift the Dreamstone now to this fine young lady, and we are up to 23 research. Not bad at all. And since she can hide, she can just run away and sneak out in an emergency. We still have someone who can forge more, and since I have no idea what to do right now, let's see. Pixie shoes need glamour and nature, but everyone can do some. Since we need more research, I'll keep doing Dreamstones for now. They're also fairly cheap with 5 a pop. Of course, now we need a she-champion, since they are the cheapest low-tier glamour mages we can pump out. The Baobanshees would of course be even cheaper, but we also need them offensively. Optimally would of course be the Banshees, but they're also fairly expensive. And people like the Garnet Priestess and Sorceresses, well, they are fucking cheap, but they are also not glamour mages, so they can't use it. Well, if you ask me, a Baobanshee would probably the best. So of course the she champions, well, they are not useful in combat as much. Hard decisions. Okay, Iop. You can... Harrow specs. I keep forgetting this. But let's summon Fairfoot Fork. So, you have now 4 and 4 instead of 3. 4 and 3. But this should mean we get at least 7 if I am guessing correctly. Now if I'm squeezing the gems out of me for another Gossamer reveal, we could probably get up to 8 if I'm really lucky. Let's test this first. And then we'll have to be a bit more careful with what we are forging. There's of course something someone on Discord reminded me of. That is something called the Boar. There is a ritual that can send an angry boar to fuck up someone's province. Car of the Wild is... Okay. This is a werewolf and some wolves. That's interesting. So from the description here, I have no idea if this is supposed to be an attack or a summon. 40. Okay, that looks more like an attack. Huh. If I have more time on my side, we'll try this out. Spine frog. Right, that summons a frog. Huh. Interesting. Poisonous frog. A large amphibian beast. Ah, that explains more. Well, anyway, we don't really have the spell right now. What does our what does our magic research tree tell us? Alteration. Taumaturgy, maybe level up. No, it's a gift of reason. It's also something we have wanted. It's not still conjuration, right? Sometimes the weird names are something that moves me slightly off track, to put it simply. Oh, manticores. A manticore or man-eater is a horrible health beast that prowls the wilderness. Sometimes they attack remote villages or top even deeper. You have a body and a mane of a lion, the head of an imbecile man with 3 rows of teeth, great flapping wings, and the tail of a scorpion. It is horrible to behold. It strikes fear in the head of man. And apparently we can summon it. Huh. Good to know. Because Ur certainly can. They have some in their armies. Yeah. I'm of course always incredibly bad with this shit. I know it is somewhere here, but holy fuck. This weird ritual is somewhere where I'm not looking. At least I only have to look out for this circle, hexagram, whatever, this witchcraft symbol here. This white circle with the star inside, because this is the sign that tells us that this is ritual. It's not a combat spell. Wait a minute, is it maybe Earth? Because sometimes those combo spells are a bit odd. I mean, summon fall beers shouldn't be exclusively Earth, I think, but that'll do minions for you. Whoops, wanted to look. Iron pigs. Oh, that's interesting. Pigs made of iron. If I'm unlocking this, I'm taking a closer look, but not right now. Okay, I can't find it. I am too blind, apparently. So let's just keep on trucking. Taumaturgy 5 is on its way. At least I can also now use gnome lore to find more magic sites. If I'm not too busy with other shit. I really should fight Hinnom to the bitter end now, because I really needed some of those mages doing other shit than killing the enemy. Glamour. Group luck. Okay, it's only effect 3+, but it's a bit of an upgrade. Nature. Gift of reason. Yeah, that's completely the most important thing right now. Then I reconsider if we really need Conjuration 6 right now. The Fey Prince seems to be too expensive for what we need right now, and we really need our more gam spell. Yeah, 240 dramaturgy. Yeah, let's keep on trucking for now. I've already taken too much time. Now let's forge something. Earth. Right? No, wait. Pixie meets what's another combination, right? Yes. It's glamour and nature instead. Because those are really good for our assassins. Harder to hit. We can spare us the luck spell since they already getting it automatically from wearing the boots. And Madmouth +6 so they can get faster. Some places. So let's give this here. So our newest mage will get those immediately. And then funny, we need someone else to give the Dreamstone to. Yeah, and for now, I guess Con or one of my back row assassins will have to do. Since so many of my mages are on their way right now. I still have a bit of money left. It's always a bit sad if I can't pull out all the stops. But I need at least 200, so let's take out a she-warrior. So now we have a little bit money more. And let's see. Yeah, this place is a bit vulnerable. But again, since our elf mages can just walk out sideways, that's not much of a risk. She-warriors or Amazons? Well, they are fire resistant. Can I recruit anyone here? They need 16 gold, 12 resource. Yeah, why not? It's just so there is something more than nothing. Yeah, I'm forging like a motherfucker right now and summoning. So that's all that I can squeeze out. We are on the offensive again. And while Ur looks more and more invasive, they are still kind of a bit hampered by the stupid in-game nap operation. So for now I will kind of keep a lookout to my north, but not let myself stop from attacking Hinnom. Of course, Kailasa will now probably get a stupid swamp. We have to have a talk about this shit, my friend. Of course, if Hinnom is smashing himself against Kailasa, it might be better for Kailasa to move southward, since otherwise they would have to take the long way around, since White Peaks is blocked by these S-clowns here. But let's see. This turn is already ending in the Kupel turns, and my movements will then resolve. My main army will be in Gold Amrut, my secondary army will be on Walgard, and then I'll just keep on moving. And yeah, it's a good point. I will see where the main enemy mage stack is going next turn. After all, I have those ladies here, and if the mage stack is moving in my direction, I can of course move the ladies in first and have them do a massive assassination before first contact. But it's it for now. Now this will be an interesting game if this keeps going. Yes, so that's it. Libluini out.